All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us again on another Google Plus Hangout for Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias, and today we're looking at the hate speech issue, which the federal government, through the Nigerian army, is saying it is going to monitor the actions of Nigerians online to be sure that things like that don't really happen. But then joining me today to look at this one, we have Aremu Koka, who joins us from Lagos. Good day, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Of course. We also have Sonny Kiri, who joins us from the United Arab Emirates. Thank you, Sonny, as well, for joining us.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Victor.
Of course. All right. Let me just start with you, Aremu. What was your reaction? I mean, when you heard about this move by the government, do you think it's a step in the right direction?
Oh, well, I was first shocked. To be frank, I was shocked. Although I was like, okay, well, it's done in most countries to try to monitor their citizens, not for any bad intentions, for countries where they practice true democracy. But I was quite shocked, and then I was thinking to myself that, okay, where does this stop? And how do you draw a line between violating citizens' rights and actually clamping down on people that send and post very malicious content online? So it was mixed reaction on my part.
All right, well, we'll come back to some of the things you said, but let me get to hear from Sonny. Sonny, what about you? What do you think about it?
I think it's very wrong move by the federal government, because Nigeria is a democratic nation, and people should be allowed, the citizens should be allowed to say their view and air their view. The process of a government trying to monitor people's speech on the social media is a very wrong move. If I could remember back in 2014, this APC, then when they were in opposition, they have done worse than what people are doing to them currently. I think they just want to silence one way or the other to people talking bad against them. And they should be very happy that if they are not in the right track, people should, those that are pointing out to them what they are doing is wrong, is those people are helping them more than those who are saying them that they are doing the right thing, because they are not on ground. So the idea of trying to monitor social media, I think, is a way to silence people to saying things that the government is doing wrong, because you can't say we have freedom of information and freedom of speech and you want to regulate social media based on what? Whoever used to social media and the rest, we know that this very government in power, they use the social media to gain power. So why are they trying to monitor it? If not that they have bad intention. I think if the army want to monitor people in Nigeria, they should monitor those funding Boko Haram. They should monitor how they are getting their ammunition. They should monitor those that are making speech and arrest those that are trying to tell some part of people in the country to move from one region to another. Those are the people they should go after and arrest, not people that are trying to say what maybe they don't like in social media or you want to monitor it. I think it's a very wrong move for any government official or any government to do in Nigeria. It's a very wrong move. And it's going to be a very wrong thing. Whosoever come up with this idea, I think it's a very bad decision. They should advise the government on more important things to do, not social media. If people are airing their view, you should be able to know where you have done wrong and amend your ways, instead of going to monitor their views. I mean, what they are saying on social media. We are not in a military rule. So I think it's a very wrong move.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I get your drift, but they also made mention of the issue of anti-government and as well as anti-military speeches. Don't you think those comments also need monitoring?
Anti-military speech in what direction?
Yeah,
if I could remember, is the government that trying to even demystify our military and our country in general. whereby if you are a foreigner, if you tune into Nigeria channels, all you hear is corruption, all you hear is Nigeria is this, that. Is that not a bad damage to the government of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria in general than what they are trying to monitor their citizens of, saying that they are making anti-military campaign? Or is the military not doing? If the military is doing well, they whip them. But these days, I think since about some years ago now, Nigerian military and the Nigerian police force, they are treating citizens bad. So in the area the military do well, they will praise them that they are doing well. I don't think those are the right thing for them to do. They should try to encourage the citizens so that the citizens can pass information to the military, instead of them to be trying to make an enemy to Nigerian citizens. Because so far, what I've seen so far, the military, they have not been friendly to the citizens. It shouldn't be that way. A situation whereby a citizen put on camouflage, you beat that person up, is that how the citizens are going to be happy with you? Of course, they are going to make mockery of you. So Nigerians military should be able to try to present itself friendly to the citizens. That is how it's been done in other countries. That's why you see that most times they are using some words to describe our military, because they have not shown the capability that they are defending Nigerian citizens. They are there to defend us, not to maltreat us. We are not the people they should be treating bad. So they should try to be more civilized in their approach dealing with Nigerians.
Okay, very well. I'll come back to you in a moment. Maramo, let me come back to you. You made mention of this thing not that's the move, not backfiring earlier on. But you also made mention of so in terms of backfiring, you made mention of crossing or hampering the rights of people online. You know, what are these rights? Because if you go outside of what you should be, outside of the confines of the law, shouldn't you be reprimanded?
Oh yeah, you should be, and that's why I said, you know, where are they going to draw the line between excesses and you know, just harmless post online. Now let's get this straight. The right to freedom of expression is enshrined in the Constitution. All right, Section 39. But at the same time, you and I know that no right is absolute. Okay. Now, a lot of people believe that you can say whatever you like. You can, you know, defend people online. You can post graphic content. You can post information that is not true, that can cause problems, you know, within the polity and all that, and get away with it free. If it was in a civilized world, you know, you'd probably be tracked down and persecuted. Understood that? I mean, understand that. Couple of years back, someone tweeted on to Obama that, you know, about assassination attempt or something on his life. You know, she was picked up. So we need to get something straight. There is a line, right, between posting things that are beneficial, that people can gain from, that people can learn from, and posting things that will cause, you know, heat up the polity. Now, where they're going to cross the line is my problem with the Nigerian army. You know, with all due respect to them, you know, making sacrifices to stem Boko Haram in the northeast, and, you know, go after some other, you know, miscreants like that in the country. My problem with them is the human rights abuses that Amnesty International has mentioned about, and a lot of human rights organizations have even covered the story so many times. So that is where my problem is. Like Sonny said, yes, they could put that monitoring exercise in areas of the country where it's very, you know, that is very, very volatile, like where so many of our citizens are being killed daily in the northeast. The herdsmen rampaging up and down and all that. Yes, they could, you know, they could monitor all those people, because I mean those are going above the board. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, they can, you know, monitor people, but at the same time, I don't think I feel safe with the history of the Nigerian army. You know, when it comes to some human rights abuses and all that, I don't think, you know, that would all go well when it comes to this issue of monitoring people on, you know, online. And also, I keep asking myself, if the Nigerian military is going to be monitoring people online, then where does that leave the DSS? Isn't that supposed to be the job of the Department of State Security? You know, aren't they going, you know, outside of their jurisdiction? Because if the DSS is there, you know, to ensure, I mean, they have their own rules of engagement and everything, which I'm sure includes monitoring people that are trying to foment trouble in the country, and I'm sure also maybe monitoring people that are making plans to cause problems here and there in the country online or over the airwaves and all that. So I'm asking myself so many questions. Why does it have to be the job of the military? You know, and like what Sonny said, they can start using that to start hunting down people that are perceived political opponents or people that are trying to, point out their errors and all that. And also another place where I think they might cross the line is the issue of statements. People make statements online. At what point do you determine that the statement or the post or the article or whatever has crossed the bounds? Of course, that's subject to interpretation by the court of law. But I can tell you that it is a very, very blurry line. It is very, very, very thin. Do you understand? So, like I said earlier on, the exercise is a welcome idea in my own view, my own opinion, but I don't think they're the ones supposed to be doing that, because clearly we have a lot of challenges in Nigeria, a lot of security challenges, kidnappings here and there, serial rapists, serial murderers and all that, Boko Haram, herdsmen, and all the likes. So it would be good if the government can use that power, that juice, to monitor people that are causing all this mayhem around the country, instead of just probably throwing the net out to just gather everybody into the same basket. Okay, we're going to monitor all of you. They should concentrate that effort more on people that are causing problems in Nigeria, rather than just making it an open-ended exercise.
All right. So how do we even define hate speech? I mean, because you said it's a blurry line, it's a thin line. So
Yeah.
let's even establish the definition of hate speech. What do you, when people say hate speech, what do you mean by hate speech?
Well, for me, it starts from innocent bans and threats, ultimatums that people should sit at home, they shouldn't go out because you have a particular ideology that you're preaching, or that a certain group of people should leave your region to another region. For me, that is hate speech. No two ways about it. When you start telling people that if they don't vote a particular person, they're all going to drown in the sea and all that, those are hate speeches. There's no two ways about it. And to be frank with you, this issue has been ongoing in Nigeria for a very, very long time. I don't want to start going down memory lane. A lot of people have made terrible statements online, on TV and all that, and nobody has arrested them or gone to them to caution them. We don't start mentioning names here, right? Okay, so like I said, hate speeches, it's blurry, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that in a society where the government has ulterior motives, you understand, they might take an innocent advice or an innocent article, and charge the person for posting it. So that's where I think it's blurry. But hate speech stands out like a sore thumb.
All
you
right.
Understand?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Aremu. But just before I move to Sonia, we have Emmanuel Ompala joining us. Emmanuel, if you can hear me. Hello, Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you? How are you doing?
Okay. How are you doing? Fine, thank you. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just your audio is very low.
Okay, I'm trying to increase it as I'm calling from Luxembourg.
Okay, great. So if you can face the window, we can't see the left-hand side of your face. No, if you can face the window so that the light will be on your face. No, can you turn your computer and face the window?
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, this is okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're looking at. I mean, of course, you must have seen the link, and we're trying to look at the issue of hate speech there and about, and also the move by the government, to monitor events online, Nigerian events of Nigerians online. What you make of this thing? Aremo was trying to give us a clear distinction between what a hate speech is. But in your own opinion, what do you think a hate speech is?
Well, from my own perspective, I think there's a lot of.
All right, if you can lean back a bit, I think if you can lean back a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. Personally, I mean, I do not subscribe to people making some comment that might actually kind of trigger. Okay. I do not subscribe to people who might have some kind of opinion that apparently might destroy of the country. But the principal thing is here: what are the factors that trigger this hate speech or so-called hate speech? We are not looking at why have we got this increase in the number of people making some disparaging statements on the social media, whatever you can call it, and we are not looking at the fundamental problem that trigger these things. And it's just like you're trying to treat a symptom, you don't treat about the cause of the disease. Okay, because I believe if there is a real governance in place, people will not be so much agitated because sometimes they go over the bar because of their grievances. And the point is that how do you draw the line? People have to make their opinion being heard, and people must be listened to. Okay, in a country where you're trying to regulate people from talking, that's a problem. So I'm very careful how we try to control this thing. I understand the fact that there's a lot of issues in the country in terms of different factions calling whatever they want to call. But the point is that we have to go back to the grassroots. How do we get to this place we are now? Why is there have so much increase in kind of different comments? You know, I heard about people saying some northern part of the country they should give quick notice, and so people calling for whatever some part of eastern Nigeria they want to go on their own. But the point, what are the fundamental cause of this problem? You can't just say you're gonna monitor people, hammer people, whatever, or monitor what they're doing. It's not gonna work because the real issue has not been dealt with. The more you try to use what I call kind of a commanding way, the more they begin to even say more. Because the point is that governance is the problem. If people are well taken care of and they're part of what they're part of the country that they belong to, apparently, then they don't have time to even think about hate speech. So, in my opinion, I think that the government has to do more in trying to address the fundamental problem the people are facing. You are called a leader to help the people. And if you don't do your job, you're going to spoil different opinions around the country. And if you don't control this thing by going back to the basics, we're not going to solve the problem. That's my opinion. So, and I believe that if you're trying to, there's a thin line between regulating hate speech. What do we even call hate speech? If I say somebody should leave one part of a country, that's hate speech right then. What are the causes of these things? Where did they come from? Where are the origin of this kind of species? So I think they have to go and do fundamental and find out why people are becoming so much agitated in this period. Why are they making this conversation? What are the causes of it? I'll tell you something. If you come to a doctor and you say you have a problem, you have some kind of headache or symptom of headache or malaria or whatever, they're going to ask you the first thing, how long has this been happening? What is the etiology of the disease? Not just giving you drugs to treat the symptoms. No. If you don't do the root cause, you're going to take Panadol, you might have some temporary relief. After 2 weeks, you come back to the same doctor. Back to square one. So I think they have to stop touching the peripheral. They should go deeper and find out why people are engaging in this kind of different kinds of species. And the point is that I tell you, you don't become a reactive government. You have to be a proactive government. You don't wait when things become out of hand. You need to find a way to fix it quickly. It doesn't work that way. You have to be more proactive and begin to listen to the people. The people must be listened to. It's basic. You cannot command the people to become peaceful. You have to show them that you love them, and it's automatic. They respond that to you. People must be heard. This is democracy. People must be heard. No matter what they say, you have to listen to them. People might just want to say that they belong to the country. If you don't make them feel recognized, they're gonna go their way. Their voice be heard, which is not to have speech. So I think that we're missing the point here. The government has to do a lot to engage the people. People are so much disconnected from the government. It's appalling. Nobody knows left and right, front and back. Everything's just going all the other places. No direction. People felt so much disconnected from the government. They have to do much about that. And if they look at the people, I believe you, and begin to listen to the people and see what is their problem. I believe that this thing is.
Oh, okay, very well. You are bringing a different perspective now to the whole conversation. But let's just take a minute and look at some comments coming in from the YouTube stream. Morade Onamusi says monitoring online activities is a security concern, and he says I support the move. For Godson Richie, he says some people are trying to use the law to take over the social media just as they have done with the mainstream media. Well, I'm not sure about that. Precious Wakama says, why haven't Donald Trump started monitoring Americans on social media? I did not bashing him on social media. Morade again says the internet has its accessibility. It's important that the government regulates our social media in particular. He says, okay, he was commenting on someone who said, well, I'm not sure, but he says you're raising good points on the issues. Amos Mosmi says, if Buhari believes it is really doing well, he is doing well, why does he want to monitor the social media? He gets a reply from Morade and says, no one says it should be a blanket approach. There's no practical way for government to focus on every internet user. It's certainly going to be directed at threats alone. Well, so let me just come back to Sonny. You vehemently oppose this move, but someone just said that's Morada is saying that it will only be targeted at threats alone. Don't you think if they will do that, don't you think that's good? Sonny.
Are you on me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think whoever is advising the president, I don't know his political advisor, but whoever advising the president on this is making the wrong move. This is democracy. Sometimes you can get some advice from, some ideas from those people who you perceive to be accusing you of being wrong. So you have to let them say whatever they want to say, and you take the most important things and make it useful for their own favor. So even if you want to look at the cause of all this hate speech they are talking about, I think they, the government, they were the ones started it, because as a government, even though if you won election, immediately you won election, you become a president of the country. You are no longer a president of a political party. But for the look of things, this government is trying to act like they are just a government of a particular political party. So those who did not support them are not going to benefit from them. So if you are a government and you're making such statements, you are giving problem to yourself. If this government is facing any problem right now, I think they are the one created it for themselves, because they did not manage their sources very well. As a government, even the media aides to the president, whenever I'm hearing them speaking, they are making statements that they shouldn't be making. As a government, as a aide to the president in Nigeria, you don't come out to the media and start making some statements. If you are, even though you know the government is doing wrong or even they are doing right, you have to win back those people who you think that they are not supporting you. You have to win their emotion. As a media aide to the president or minister of information, you don't come out and make some blind statement. You have to win the trust of those people who don't even vote for you, who you think you are opposition. You have to make them believe in you. You have to give them reason to support your government. You don't, if you want, how many people do you think you can fight if you want to make a fight? So they are the one trying to keep this whole problem to themselves. They have not managed their sources very well. You can't, as a government, you don't come out and make some statement. Whereby you are demarketing the country. They are just succeeding in demarketing Nigeria. That's what they are trying to do. So for the idea of trying to monitor social media based on hate speech, at what are you going to define hate speech? So I think they should allow the social media to go on and focus on more important. I think they have more important things to do than to monitor social media. I don't think that is a right step.
Okay, thank you very much. Peter, you're just joining us. Sadly, we were just about to wrap up. Yeah, so if you can just tell us what you feel about it in a few sentences before we go.
Yeah, I'm in absolute agreement with Sammy on this issue. You know, What I can say is that the government is afraid of free speech. They are very afraid of criticisms, you know. So this idea of hate speeches, there is nothing like hate speech for now. What the government is trying to do is to guard free speech. They don't want citizens to speak their mind. You know, the administration don't want us to tell them that they are afraid. You understand? So because for over 2 years and a half, they have not done nothing. All their promises have not been kept. So because people are speaking out, we are pushing them left, right, and center. They are trying to bring out this issue of hate speeches. The only hate speech that we can see that have been made for now in the country is the quick given by the Arewa group to the Igbos. That's the only hate speech. You know, every other thing in social media, in the print media, on the news, is these people are only discussing for the good of the nation, the national, for the things that we're going to make the country prosper. But what we are seeing here is an administration that is afraid of the people. They are very afraid of free speech. So they come in the guise of hate speech, you know. So the only thing that I will advise them to do is to focus on fulfilling their campaign promises. There is no hate speech anywhere. And I'm sure that the people, we are not going to allow them to take away our freedom of speech. It's not going to be possible. That is absolutely, they're wasting their time. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Peters. You joined lately, but then Emmanuel, let me also get your closing statement before we go.
Okay, I think fundamentally the people have freedom of expression, and the government should focus more on finding out what the people need. Obviously, we're not in a communist country, democracy, environment. People have to express themselves. People up and down. That's not the point. You have to find out why they're making why kind of grows so much kind of grievance in the country, and they should go to the ground, listen to people. People must be heard, okay? People must be heard, or saying that you love them, that you care for them, and they want to love you. It's not by force. You can't impose it on people. People love because they love first. So they should go back and listen to the people. Nigerian people deserve more than what they're getting. Leaders must put the acts in order and know that they're there for the people. You have to be there for the people, not for yourself. That's what I might say. They should focus more on delivering what they have said they're going to do. And I agree with some of the people who are doing it. It's not about imposing monitoring. What are you going to monitor? Where is the line? Why are you going to take the line? You can't do that. So they should listen to the people and solve the problem of the people. That's my take.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel, I didn't get where in Luxembourg you're calling from.
Okay, I live in Luxembourg. Luxembourg City, just close to the University of Luxembourg.
Okay, can you just type it for me in the chat box?
Where is that place? Where?
Just check the chat box and put that in. We'll come back to you in a bit. Well, Mariamu, let's also get your closing statement before we go completely now.
Yeah, thanks. So for me, I believe in every society there are rules, right? And I also believe that everybody's right or freedom is not absolute. Do you understand? And it's unfortunate the political and the what will I call it now? Antecedents in Nigeria has generated a lot of controversies and all that. It's so unfortunate. But if we continue at the rate that we're going, people making snide remarks online and on the radio, giving ultimatums and all that, I think we're just going to end up where we don't want to be. So there's got to be control. You understand? There's got to be control. But my own is just that whatever control the government is going to put in place should not target the opposition and should not target people that are genuinely and innocently making or giving the government advice and all that. It should target the people that are destroying Nigeria. In the Northeast, the headsmen and all that, all the people that are kidnapping people here and there, those are the people the government they are supposed to target, not innocent Nigerians with this monitoring that they want to start doing. So for me, I believe there should be control. I believe in the freedom of speech as well, but I also believe that the freedom of speech should not give you the right to start, making statements that can cause problem in the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Aremu Koka, you joined us from Lagos, Nigeria. Emmanuel joined us from Belmont, that's in Luxembourg. Peters, I think you're in Austria. Okay, but then thank you as well. And then also Sonny joined us from the United Arab Emirates. Thanks all of you, and also those of you who were watching us via the YouTube stream and also dropping your comments to see all of you. But then we have to wrap it up on this note. Thanks once again for joining us on this Hangout. for Channels Beam, and Victor Matthias.
You're welcome.